Welcome to Raw TV. I'm Michael Steiner.
And I'm Rebecca Vargas. And tonight on the show we have Christian recording artist James Thiele. He's recorded 4 CDs and we'll be hearing him perform live for us tonight.
We're also going to get a chance to sit down with him and talk about his life and his struggle through the Katrina tragedy and how that affected his family and his music in turn. So don't go away.
The second coming of Christ, while half of the world hasn't heard of the first. How can we wait and just close our eyes while half of the world is dying of thirst? Let's swing the doors wide open and hammer down the dividing wall. We are the hands, we are the feet, we are the face of love for the least of. We are the hands, we are the feet, love is the language the whole world speaks. We are the hands. We disagree what style of worship will bring, while world has no reason to sing. The heart of God is with the poor and oppressed. We sit here rich and fat and call ourselves blessed. Let's swing the doors wide open and hammer down the dividing walls. We are the we are the feet, we are the face of love for the least of. We are the hands, we are the feet, love is the language the whole world speaks. We are the hands, we are the hands, we are the hands. There are just some people that you meet in this life that light the skies. angel white with heat so bright, had to squint my eyes. She fell in love with Jesus 13 years ago. She's still holding on to hope. The passion makes her face low, because she burns like a wildfire burns. Goodbye to Angel, she was racing on to catch a plane. She had 3 days worth of clothing and a Bible in a small suitcase. She was headed for Calcutta in the name of Christ, and all her friends looked so surprised. She burns like a wildfire burns, and when everybody else around her shivers in the cold of faded dreams, still it seems that she's burning with compassion. She's turning love into action. Loves the world like Jesus, and she burns like a wildfire burns. And when everybody else around her shivers in the cold and faded, still it seems that she burns like a wildfire burns. Angel burns like a wildfire burns. Oh, oh, oh,
Welcome to the set. We're here with James Teely.
Thanks for coming on, man. You guys are sounding fantastic out there.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where did you get your start? What's your, inspiration for music? Where did all that come from?
Okay. I spent a big, long time as a youth pastor, several different churches around the Southeast. And in that process, I think music was always a part of that work with students, training students even to lead worship in our student ministry, and writing songs. Since I was a kid, I started writing songs. In fact, that's kind of always been a part of my family. I had a father who just celebrated every occasion, even every state we visited, by writing songs. We would drive across the state line. He would write a random song about the state we were driving through. I just assumed the way you interact with the world is you write a new song about it. So really all through my childhood, adolescence, college years, I was writing songs. And then working as a youth pastor, using those songs in worship with our students, using those songs in the church that we were a part of. And then a few years ago, started traveling more and more, and finally left the local church that we were a part of and started traveling full-time.
So is that when you first, when did you first launch your career and just make, James Teely and start recording your CDs and all that?
Sure. I think that question would probably be a little more relevant if I were 20. Because I'm an old guy, it means that kind of all along the way there have been different phases of that. Through college I had, as a songwriter, several songs signed with a record company in Nashville.
Okay, cool.
And then traveling all while I was working as a student pastor, traveling, leading worship. And then I guess it was about 2004, end of 2003, beginning of 2004, when I suppose doing this kind of work professionally became kind of the core of who I was. And even then, it continued to grow and change over the years. You know, it's always changing and transforming kind of as we have new experiences, as God opens a door in front of us and we walk through it, it kind of changes over time. So it's not a real clean answer for me.
So what would you call your style?
It's hard for me to define because I work as a staff songwriter for a record company in Nashville. So many of the songs I write are used in so many different ways, so many different artists, from film and TV placements to pop artists, country artists, worship leaders, Southern gospel artists have recorded some of these songs as well. So even the records that we make tend to change over time as well. You know, the record that came out in 2007 was a little more singer-songwriter kind of a record. That was a real personal time for us. My wife and I had just experienced Katrina in New Orleans, and so those songs were built from, I guess, flowed out of that experience. So that was a very personal record. These last couple of records have been more worship-oriented records.
Yeah.
We do a lot of traveling, leading worship with student groups, college groups. So these last couple of records have been more kind of pop worship. I hate that name of a genre, but that's kind of, I guess, the way I would define what we're doing there. So songs all over the map.
You said that you have written songs for, you know, so many different types of people, whether it be Christian or, you know, secular. Are there any big names that you have used your songs?
It depends on the circles that you go in. For instance, we've had a song just last week that was used on the TV show One Tree Hill.
Oh, wow. I am a big fan of that show.
All right.
That's awesome.
I, in fact, last week watched my first episode of One Tree Hill. Not a fan yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay. They always have good music on there, though, so that's a good thing.
It's
a good start.
Indeed, that's a good start. One on Ghost Whisperer last year as well. So several placements like that. Several smaller country acts that people probably haven't heard of. Worship leaders, Matt Papa has used one of our songs called Open Hands that we'll do here in a second.
Okay, great.
And it's one that's been picked up by a lot of churches. There's another song called God Is With Us that has been used by a lot of churches, recorded by several different bands.
You mentioned earlier about how you and your family went through the whole Katrina tragedy and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit about what that was like and how that affected your music and stuff like that?
Sure. We were living in New Orleans at that point. My wife was still in grad school. I had actually grown up in New Orleans. We moved to New Orleans when I was 12, gone away to college and come back as a married guy. So we were there. I had started working for a different publishing company called Universal Records in Nashville, and was flying back and forth from Nashville to New Orleans. So really, practically speaking, that transition was pretty easy for me. Job-wise, it made my life easier to be in Nashville. For my wife, it was a little different story. She is a counselor. As a family and marriage therapist, she's built this private practice in New Orleans, and so a move to Nashville after Hurricane Katrina was a little more difficult for her. But it was a pretty remarkable experience for us in a lot of ways. I think we're separated from Hurricane Katrina enough at this point to be able to really look back as thankful on that experience because of how deeply it changed us as individuals. I don't know how it affected my music other than, of course, all of the songs that I write to some extent are reflections of me and my own journey with God, kind of what I'm in the middle of walking through. So certainly the songs that I was writing through that season really reflected that experience. But so musically it didn't change what I was doing, but it certainly, those stories have come out continually over the years.
Well, yeah, it seems like God had a huge impact on your life, and that's going to definitely change your whole perspective on life.
Without question. Taught us dependence, for instance. We had never really, you know, as relatively wealthy Southern Christians, we had never really had to depend on God in the way that I know we now are so reliant. We've learned dependence from that experience in a way that we never would have, I'm sure, otherwise.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us, and it really seems like God has impacted your life and really changed a lot of things around and helping you have a different perspective on things. And we're about to actually hear you perform a couple more songs. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do first from the record that came out in 2009, a song called Look Among the Lowly, from the record The Hardest Step to Land, that's kind of about our search for the evidence of God. Where can we find his fingerprints? The second song we'll do is called Open Hands, a worship song that has been used more than I ever expected, and we'll do as a part of this set, too, a little statement of surrender.
Great. Well, we can't wait to hear it.
Great. Thanks, you guys.
And kings build their castles, and fools surround their thrones, and 1,000 hillside mansions slowly age. And we have built cathedrals wrought with stained glass and with gold, and inside them we feel cold and far away. And I've been searching high to find you, and I have been so wrong. I should have known to look up, Mother Lowly. I see your holy presence ever near the last and least. Your touch brings peace and hope. I should have known to look among the lowly. You choose to abide close beside the little child who has learned to ignore his hunger pain. Oh, when you have made your home with the widow who grows at the loss of another child to age. And I've been searching high to find you, and I have been so wrong. I should have known to look up, Mother Lowly. I see your holy presence ever near the last and least. Your touch brings peace and hope. I should have known to look among the lowly, the poor and the needy. I see your holy presence ever near the last and least. Your touch brings peace and hope. I should have known to look among the lowly, look among the lowly, look among the lowly. Oh, 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 look among the lowly. Oh, 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 oh. To give unselfishly, to serve the least of these. Jesus, I'm learning how to live with open hands. All these treasures that I own will never satisfy my soul. Jesus, I lay them at your throne with open hands. So I lift my hands earthly kingdoms built of sand. Jesus, at your cross I stand with open hand. So I lift my hands open wide, let the whole world see how you love, how you died, how you set me free, free at last. I surrender all I am with open hands, with open hands. You took the nails, you bore the crown, you hung your head, your love poured out. You took my place, you paid the price. So Jesus, now I give my life. As I lift my hands open wide, let the whole world see how you love, how you died, how you set me free, free at last. I surrender all I am with open hands. Jesus, I lift my hands open wide, let the whole world see how you love, how you died, how you set me free, free at last. I surrender all I am with open hands, with open hands. Jesus, I'm learning how to live with open hands. Jesus, I'm learning how to live with open hands. Jesus, please teach me how to live with open hands.
You guys sounded great. I really love the style, and it was amazing to meet you.
Thanks for coming out here. Where can we find out more about your music?
JamesTeely.com, spelled like the color teal with a Y on the end of it, and all the records are on iTunes, or Twitter.com/James Teely, Facebook.com/James Teely.
All the
YouTube.
social
Yeah,
networks.
absolutely.
They're there. All right, great. Don't forget to check them out and look on iTunes for our episodes. You just search Raw TV Southeastern. And as always, don't forget to
Live it raw.
And I think we actually have one more song from you guys, right?
Got it. We'll do it.
All right, great. Can't wait to hear it.
Let the oceans roar, let the earth beneath us tremble, let the nations rage and kingdoms fall. Above the cries of war and louder than the loudest trouble, let your name be heard above it all. 'Cause you are our shalom, you are our shalom, nothing missing, nothing broken, perfect peace. And you are our shalom, you are our shalom, you're the rock we place our hope in, you are peace. Perfect peace. And anxious hearts be still. Break the heavy chains of sorrow. Let the fear inside you melt away. Lord, at your feet we kneel. trust the hand that holds tomorrow. We will rest in your amazing grace. 'Cause you are our shalom. You are our shalom. Nothing missing, nothing broken, perfect peace. You are our shalom. You are our shalom. You're the rock we place our hope in. You are peace. Trees bow down, your lifted branches. Leaves begin your angel dances. From the clouds, let the rain of praise begin for the master of the wind, our perfect peace. Yahweh, you are our shalom. You are our shalom. Nothing missing, nothing broken, perfect peace. And you are our shalom. You are our shalom. You're the rock we place our hope in. You are peace, a perfect peace. Our perfect peace.